Okay, so I'm going to tell today about some paranormal experiences I've had, and I have a super scary one at the end. But first, I'm going to tell you a little bit about my paranormal activity past, I guess. Okay, and you can think I'm crazy if you want to, whatever, because most people do think you're crazy when you say anything about ghosts, so that's fine, because I don't watch ghost hunters and be like, oh my god, oh, did you see that? Oh, that was a ghost. No, I don't really think like that, but I know this crap was real. Okay, when I was 5, I would go play in the yard, and for some reason, and I remember seeing them, I would see bubbles, is what I called them, like little bubbles floating around outside, and they had, like, some of them had people in it. And I'd always go tell Mama, hey, Mama, the bubbles are outside. They got people in them. And they'd always just be like, okay. Because they thought I was playing or something. So they just went along with it. And one day I went inside and I told my dad, I was like, the lady that's always with me in her bubble, she's always around me every time I go outside. And she's so pretty. She's got like a pretty red color hair. And my dad was like, well, what does she look like? And I started describing her. Well, it turns out I just described my dad's mom, which I'd never seen because she died when my dad was 17 in a car accident. And, but I described her perfectly, and Daddy kind of got freaked out. But I didn't know that. See, I didn't know that part when I was little. I just remember describing the woman, and Daddy kind of just being like, oh. Later on, when I got older, they told me that I had just described my grandma and all that stuff, because, you don't tell little kids that stuff. Anyway, well, another time I done something like that was me and my sister were half-sisters. We have different dads, but the same mom. So, and her dad died when she was real little. And so, once again, it was about when I was 5. We were in the car on our way to see my Brainy's grandma on her dad's side. And so I was sitting in the car, and I think she said something about her dad or something, and I said, oh yeah, the guy, he's got something on his face, and I started describing the guy. They're like, what are you talking about? And I described her dad perfectly to her. He even had a scar on his face, and I kept on saying, there's something on his face, there's some kind of cut on his face or something. And that was weird. I mean, she started crying because it was so weird. And, okay, well, stuff like that happened to me. And when I was 15, like, I went to a estate sale. It's like, where they sell everybody, the whole house, like all the stuff in the house and all that. Like, it's, if somebody, the owner of the house dies, and so somebody else gets the house or something, like if their relatives didn't get it or something, So the people that were selling all the stuff didn't really know the woman. They just got the house. So I went in there, and I was thinking about how sad it was that this lady's, all her stuff was just laid out getting sold. And I was thinking, this was her, pot she cooked in and all this stuff. And this is her sewing stuff. And there was a kid's room. It was kind of freaky because it had like all kinds of old little toys in it because she collected them. So it was already scary going in that room. Well, there was a window way in the back of the kids' room, and so I started walking around. I was looking at everything. So I go over to the window, and like as soon as I look out the window, I grab my chest. It was like I was having chest pains all of a sudden or something. And I told Mama I had to get out of there, and I don't know what happened to me. I just know that it felt like something, I don't know, it felt like somebody just stabbed me in the heart when I looked out the window. And so I ran out of the house, and I did not go back in. And we did find out the woman did die, but we didn't find out how. So that was really weird too. And anyway, I'm not trying to say that I'm some kind of psychic person or something. That's bull crap. But anyway, so the scariest thing that's ever happened to me. Oh, God. Alright. So there was this lady, she was real old, she was in the nursing home, and she told my boyfriend Clayton that he could go fishing over at her house. And so the lake, you had to walk right by the house and go down a trail to get to the lake. And there was a little bridge over a little stream, like a little ditch, and then the lake. So we went fishing a couple times, over there, and nobody was there because she was at the nursing home and her husband had died. And it wasn't long until she died, and we went fishing over there again because she had said that we could. And after she died, we went fishing over there again, and that was the last time we ever went fishing there, because we walked by the house, went down there, nobody was ever in the house, so everything was off. And I don't like to fish, really. I don't have enough patience for it. So my boyfriend was sitting there fishing, and I was like, okay, I'm going to go sit on the bridge, because I didn't have anything to do. So I went and laid down on the bridge on my belly, and I was looking down at the water, and I was seeing the reflection of the clouds in that little stream under the bridge, and I was thinking about that, and, thinking about how it looked like an alternate universe or something, crazy like I always think of. And it's like, I can't really explain what happened. It's like I fell asleep and went into a dream, but I wasn't asleep. And I'll tell you how I know I wasn't asleep in a second. It was like I remember looking down at the stream, seeing the reflection of the clouds, and then it was like it cut off right there or something. And I remember hearing somebody in the woods or something up toward the house, and I looked over, and there was a old lady standing there. And I think she was in her house coat or something, and she started motioning me like this and smiling at me to come with her. And she said that we were going to go up to the house and get a snack. And so I was kind of wary of the woman, so I was looking back at Clayton, and he couldn't see me. But I was in the same spot, and the weird stuff, like the dream, I guess, started with me looking at the clouds on the bridge. And then I seen the woman, so I went with the woman up to the house. We went in the back door, and the whole time I had like a weird feeling. Went in the back door, went into the kitchen. She didn't turn on any lights until we got to the kitchen. Then she flipped on the kitchen light. And she said, she told me that we weren't gonna, or she said something about getting snacks, but when she turned around, she had like a weird look on her face, and it was like it wasn't her anymore. It was like some kind of like bad feeling I got from the woman. It was like she turned into something else. And I just kind of backed up from her, and I was like, I gotta go to my boyfriend. He's waiting on me. And the woman kind of like stepped toward me and looked at me funny, and I ran out the door and ran back down to the bridge and started yelling Clayton. And I started yelling as loud as I could. Well, I came to from the dream yelling Clayton's name, or actually I was just saying it. I was just saying Clayton, but I felt like I was yelling it. And finally he come over there, because he heard me one time, and he said, what? And I said, I've been yelling for you forever. And he said, no you haven't, I just now heard you. And he was sitting right there. He just had his back toward me, couldn't see me. And I told him that I couldn't explain what had just happened, but we had to get out of there. And because all that crazy stuff had just happened, and it was like it was real. I didn't go to sleep, I know, because I asked Clayton how long it was since I went over to the bridge, and he said about 10 minutes. There was no way I had fallen asleep and started yelling his name and all that. It was crazy. But it was like I didn't know what I had done sitting there. It was like I wasn't really sitting there. It's like I had left my body or something. I don't know. It was weird. So, start freaking out and tell him, I'm not talking about it here. You just come with me, we're leaving. And so he did. Thankfully, he listened to me. Well, we get about halfway to the house, and I stop and look up at the house. And I was like, oh my God, Clayton, run. And he said, why? And I said, I'll tell you in a minute. So we ran up by the house. The kitchen light was on. The kitchen light was on. That house had not been used. Nobody was in it. We had come down through the path by the house and seen the kitchen before we went fishing. The light was not on. Nobody was there because I think their relatives lived way off or something. Nobody had been there since we were fishing because you can hear people up there. That light was not on when we got there. And in the dream thing I had, the only light the old lady turned on was the kitchen light. And when I seen that kitchen light was still on, oh my God, I freaked out because it was like confirmation that that crap was real or something. And so we left and we have never been back. And that is by far the scariest thing that's ever happened to me because I have no explanation of any of that. It was just like one minute I was looking in the water at the bridge, the next minute I looked up and there was an old lady standing there. And it was like I really had done all this. Because when I woke up, I was in the same spot yelling Clayton, or woke up. I don't know what it was. If I was daydreaming, somehow that, I don't know. It was weird. I don't think it was a dream because I was never asleep. So, anyway, I just wanted to tell y'all some stuff about me that's happened because that's a really freaky story. And hopefully I'll be recovered soon and I can do some of my ideas for my videos because I've been writing some more and all. I got some schoolwork I gotta do, so I've been doing that and thinking of more ideas, but I'm still, crippled and I can't do anything, so maybe we'll get everything figured out. I'll get everything figured out and get better and make y'all more videos. So hope y'all enjoyed hearing about the scariest moment of my life. Bye.